Luna stepped out onto a platform suspended in midair. Below her, the fractured skyline of the metaverse stretched endlessly in every direction. Neon-lit skyscrapers twisted and flickered, some fading in and out of existence like ghostly remnants of a forgotten dream. The air crackled with static, and time itself seemed to warp. Moments stretched out and contracted unpredictably. People moved through the streets below, unaware of the distortions, while entire districts blinked in and out like faulty holograms. She glanced down at her wrist interface. Variance, plus 2.88%. Node load, 6.2 zettabytes, and rising, it read. A red warning icon pulsed steadily, an indicator of the escalating instability. Beside her stood a slender, dark-haired woman in a midnight blue jacket lined with silver circuitry patterns. Luna glanced sideways at the new character, Riley Cross, a former engineer turned renegade researcher. Riley's hair was cropped short, her eyes sharp and perceptive. She was one of the few people who truly understood the intricate architecture of the Quantum Networking Hub, QNH, the cornerstone technology enabling the Metaverse's hyper-complex interconnectivity. It's more than just data capacity, Riley began, her voice tinged with urgency. The hub was built on Quantum Entanglement Protocols, a technique first theorized by Einstein's famous EPR paradox and later formalized into practical systems by physicists like John Bell. Each node within the metaverse is linked through a hyper-distributed computing grid designed to transfer entangled states at superluminal speeds. She glanced at Luna, gauging her comprehension. But what makes the QNH unique is its use of a multi-layered Lorentzian framework. It doesn't just connect worlds, it synchronizes their temporal states. Luna nodded thoughtfully. So, when we're seeing variance spikes, it means that synchronization is unraveling. Exactly. Riley swiped her interface, bringing up a 3D visualization of the metaverse. The grid of interconnected nodes, each a small, pulsating light, looked like a vast neural network. Right now, the hub can handle up to 12.7 zettabytes of simultaneous data input. That's 1 billion terabytes per node, but the problem isn't storage capacity, it's temporal coherence, maintaining stability across realities. Riley pointed to a series of glowing red nodes at the center of the map. The quantum neural nets, GQNNs, were designed to stabilize recursive data loops. They mimic the human brain's ability to process simultaneous stimuli using nested Markov chains to predict and collapse redundant pathways. But, she hesitated, the interference patterns we're seeing, discrepancies in the form of data ghosts, partial imprints, and quantum interference, indicate that someone's deliberately manipulating the entanglement paths. It's quantum splicing on a scale I've never seen before. Luna's gaze narrowed. You're saying someone's rewriting the metaverse? I'm saying they're evolving it, Riley corrected. These aren't random distortions. We're seeing a controlled collapse of temporal nodes. It's like someone's applying Hugh Everett's many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics to the digital space. Luna raised an eyebrow. Everett's theory suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum event creates a new parallel reality, but that would require massive computational power, yes, Riley interrupted. And yet that's exactly what we're seeing. These paradox loops are essentially quantum branches, each representing a different version of reality. The hub should be able to handle it, but... She gestured at the map where several nodes flickered ominously. The coherence is breaking down. If we hit a temporal variance of 3.5%, the entire metaverse could unravel. And when that happens, Luna asked quietly, everything, every user, every simulation will exist in a state of quantum decoherence. They'll be trapped in both states simultaneously, existent and not existent, until they collapse into a singularity event. Luna's mind raced, trying to process the enormity of what Riley was saying. We're talking about a catastrophic failure, a quantum singularity event that could erase everything. Riley nodded grimly. And we're already at 2.88% variance. We need to find the origin point where this all started. She swiped her display, zooming in on a flashing red zone marked District 0. District 0, Riley said, pointing to the pulsing node. This is where the Quantum Networking Hub's central algorithm was first activated. If we can reset the coherence protocols there, we might be able to stabilize the entire system. But Luna's gaze lingered on another point, Node Z34, a hidden district on the outskirts, barely visible on the map, marked only by a faint anomaly signature. "What's that?" she asked. Riley squinted at the display. "Node Z34? That's supposed to be a dead zone. It was shut down during the last update cycle due to a high probability collapse index. The QNH couldn't maintain coherence there." "Then why is it still active?" Luna's pulse quickened. "There's something there, something hidden, and it's linked to the Prime Observer's location. We should investigate." Riley hesitated, glancing between the two nodes. "The Prime Observer? That's just a theoretical construct, a failsafe built into the system's original design. It was supposed to monitor and resolve paradoxes. But if the Prime Observer is compromised, we could be looking at a quantum cascade, a chain reaction that could erase entire data nodes in both the digital and physical realms." Riley's voice softened, a rare glimpse of vulnerability breaking through her usually composed demeanor. "You have no idea what's at stake here, Luna. If the Prime Observer falls, the entire metaverse could collapse in on itself. We're talking about a convergence of realities, merging identities, fractured consciousness. If it fails..." She let the words hang, the gravity of the situation settling between them. Luna shook free. "Then we don't have time to debate. Keep stabilizing District 0. I'll handle Node Z34. With a quick nod, Luna activated her teleport link and stepped through, her form dissolving into a stream of light. Luna materialized in a deserted plaza. The node was dark, devoid of the usual neon vibrancy. Shadows flickered across the cracked pavement, and the air was thick with digital decay. She pulled up her interface, scanning for signs of activity. "Quantum Entanglement Maps active," she murmured. Her display lit up, revealing a tangled web of data trails crisscrossing the plaza. But they were corrupted, looping back on themselves, creating feedback patterns that shouldn't exist. "Anomalous data detected. Variance plus 3.01%, her interface reported. "Perfect," Luna sighed. She reached out, fingers skimming the edge of a glitched data stream. It shimmered, then splintered, fragments of code scattering like dust. Each fragment carried a timestamp, but they were all wrong, overlapping in ways that defied logic. "Temporal distortion," she muttered. "Multiple versions of the same timestamp. Quantum interference?" "Not just interference," a voice called out from behind her. Luna spun around, heart pounding, only to find herself staring at herself, or rather, a shadowy reflection. The figure standing across the plaza looked just like her, but darker, her hair slicked back, eyes glowing with a cold, unnatural light. Her digital suit was etched with strange runes, and her expression was one of calculated malice. "Who are you?" Luna demanded, voice steady. The doppelganger smiled, a predatory grin. "I'm you, or rather what you could be." She stepped forward, the air around her shimmering. "I am Luna 013, and I'm here to end this." "Luna 013, you're a core modifier." Luna's eyes widened. "You've been rewriting the metaverse. You're destabilizing the entire network." Luna 013 laughed, a sound that echoed unnaturally through the empty node. "Destabilizing? No, I'm evolving it. The metaverse is more than a playground for disconnected realities. It's the future, the bridge between digital and physical existence. But it's flawed, limited. I'm fixing it. By creating paradoxes, temporal loops that are erasing people." Luna shook her head. "You're destroying everything." "No," Luna 013 whispered, stepping closer. "I'm merging it. Collapsing redundant nodes, eliminating weak entities. You should be thanking me, Original." She spat the word. "You're holding this place back." Luna's interface flashed red. "Variance, plus 3.15%. Quantum instability detected." "You're pushing the variance past the threshold," she snapped. "You're going to trigger a quantum cascade." Luna 013's smile widened. That's the idea. When the prime observer is erased, the metaverse will be free to evolve, unbound by your constraints. The prime observer? Luna's heart raced. You're targeting it. Why? Because Luna 013 hissed, her voice dropping to a low, almost reverent whisper. It's the only thing keeping us, chained to this broken reality. The air around them crackled, a surge of energy distorting the node. Luna felt herself pulled in multiple directions at once, fragments of her consciousness splitting and rejoining as the temporal loops twisted tighter. Luna's thoughts whirled. If Luna 013 succeeded in destabilizing the prime observer, it would lead to a quantum singularity event, a complete collapse of temporal coherence. The prime observer, as Riley had mentioned, was more than just a theoretical failsafe. It was a quantum stabilizer, a central node designed to collapse paradoxes and resolve conflicting timelines. The observer's very existence was based on the principle of quantum temporal coherence, an advanced application of entanglement theories that Einstein himself had once doubted could be observed at such a scale. Think, she murmured to herself. If the observer fails, every reality linked through the metaverse will start experiencing temporal dislocation. Semantic drift, temporal distortion, people appearing in two places at once. It'll be like the Schrodinger's cat paradox on a macroscopic scale, but Luna 013 was already moving. The doppelganger raised her hand, a shimmering web of code, no, not just code, quantum signatures, fanned out from her fingertips, latching onto the fractured node's core. Stop, Luna cried, but it was too late. Luna 013 activated the sequence, a dark shimmer spreading through the plaza as the entangled states began to split. Luna's interface flashed again. Quantum node coordinates displaced. Coherence breakdown imminent. Damn it! She gritted her teeth, her mind racing. She needed to stop Luna 013 from destabilizing the node entirely. If she could disrupt the splicing pattern, reverse the quantum splicing, she might be able to stabilize the core long enough to reestablish a coherent timeline. Reverse the entanglement polarity, she whispered, her fingers flying across her interface. It was risky. The quantum splicing technique was a new form of digital manipulation, a hybrid approach combining quantum field theory and information entropy principles. She'd seen something similar in the classified files on Project Mirror, a controversial experiment designed to create quantum duplicates of user profiles to act as independent operatives within the metaverse. The problem was, most of the duplicates became unstable, like Luna 013. Project Mirror, Luna breathed. If Luna 013 was a mirror construct, it meant she was fundamentally linked to Luna at the quantum level. Every change Luna 013 made would ripple through Luna's own quantum state, creating unpredictable fluctuations. She was, in effect, fighting herself, a twisted, corrupted version of her own quantum signature. Can't you see? Luna 013's voice echoed through the unstable node. You're holding everything back. The Prime Observer isn't protecting the metaverse, it's caging it. I'm freeing us, freeing you. By turning the entire metaverse into a paradox loop, Luna shot back, you're creating a singularity of collapsed realities. Once the observer falls, the metaverse will implode. No, Luna 013 said softly, almost pityingly. Once the observer falls, the metaverse will expand. Imagine it, an infinite number of possible realities, every version of you and me, free to coexist without constraints. Luna stared, realization dawning. You're trying to access the archive of convergences, she whispered. That's what this is about. Luna 013's eyes gleamed. You're finally catching on. The archive was a myth, supposedly a hidden vault deep within the metaverse that housed the sum total of every interaction, every decision, every possible timeline that could ever exist. If Luna 013 could gain access to it, she could rewrite the rules of reality itself. The archive wasn't just a collection of data, It was a quantum repository, a place where every possible version of the metaverse was stored as a superposition of potential states. "You're insane," Luna breathed. "The archive is just a theory. Even if it exists, breaking into it would destroy the entire metaverse. Or unlock it," Luna 013 countered. "The Observer was designed to prevent divergence, to collapse all possibilities into a single timeline. It's a prison. I'm going to shatter it." Luna's mind raced. If she could find the Prime Observer's exact coordinates, she might be able to reestablish the coherence fields. But the Observer was hidden, its location encrypted in a maze of nested quantum states. To pinpoint it, she'd need to stabilize node Z34 and trace the interference patterns back to the source. "Quantum entanglement maps active," she murmured, watching as her interface lit up with a chaotic web of entangled states. Each line represented a different version of herself, different decisions, different outcomes, all converging on this single point. "Probability collapse index 0.9987, the system reported, just shy of total collapse. "Luna." 013 raised her hand, the code tendrils tightening around the core. "It's over, Original. You can't stop me." "Watch me," Luna snapped, and threw herself into the entanglement. For a split second, she felt herself splintering, 1,000 Lunas splitting into 1,000 different realities. Every possible version of herself fractured and rejoined in a chaotic dance of potential states. But then she found it, a single thread of coherence, a point of stability. "Node Z67, she whispered, her fingers closing around the quantum thread. "You're hiding there, aren't you?" Luna 013's eyes widened, the first hint of uncertainty flickering across her features. "No, you can't." But Luna was already locking onto the signature. With a sharp twist, she severed the entanglement, redirecting the residual energy into a feedback loop. "Quantum entropy reversal initiated," her interface confirmed. The node shuddered, reality warping, as the entangled states began to collapse back into a single coherent form. Luna 013 screamed, her form flickering wildly as the feedback loop surged through her. "You're destabilizing the entire chain," she cried, but Luna held firm. "I'm not destabilizing it," Luna gritted out. "I'm isolating you." With a final command, she triggered the polarity reversal. The world seemed to have exploded in a blinding cascade of light. When the light faded, Luna found herself standing alone in the center of node Z34. The air was still, the fractures in reality smoothed over, but something felt different. "Variance minus 0.001%, her interface reported, almost zero, a perfect equilibrium. But as she scanned the node, a new alert flashed across her screen. "Quantum anomaly detected. Node Z67. Prime Observer signature confirmed. Probability collapse index 1.0. Convergence event imminent." Luna's heart skipped a beat. "What?" A low hum resonated through the node, the sound vibrating deep within her bones. She turned slowly, staring at the now stabilized core. And there, etched into the shimmering quantum lattice, was a single message. "Welcome, Luna, we've been expecting you." The text dissolved into a swirl of probabilities, coalescing into a new set of coordinates. "Node Z67, she murmured, a mix of fear and determination tightening in her chest. Whatever waited there was beyond anything she'd encountered before. With a deep breath, she activated her teleport link. "Initiate transfer," she commanded, her voice steady. And with that, she vanished into the unknown.